That is literally the cutest turtle I've ever seen in my entire life. He's definitely cuter than Woody. It's like Christmas.
Woo. He's in there with a sledgehammer trying to make a path.
Make a path with a sledgehammer? In my retail store? This thing is so powerful.
Super crazy powerful.
Good morning from Ed the Pond Professor. Not Greg Whitstock the Pond Guy, but I'm with Eddie because I'm taking over for your vlog a little bit today.
Yep.
Rusty, you just drove up from Indiana, what, last night?
No, I came this morning. It's about a 5-hour drive.
So what do we got here? We've got a 700
gallon mobile aquarium.
Very cool. 700 gallons.
Yeah.
Did you build this yourself?
I purchased the acrylic build according to my sizes that I requested and how I needed to use it, with the opening in the top the right size to load our 165-pound turtle in, which we use hoists for.
Oh my gosh.
His name is Crunch. He's the largest freshwater turtle that we've found alive in the world.
Rusty, let's show you where we got this thing going in.
He's in there with a sledgehammer trying to make a path.
Make a path with a sledgehammer? In my retail store? What?
I need to take 2 inches off, so I'm poke smashing the rock.
You know, if
So we're here on a Saturday morning trying to figure out how to get this 2,500-pound tank into our retail store.
A little chaos here this morning. We are changing the location where we're bringing this turtle in. It's a little bit tight over there in the retail store. Drop it off in the warehouse, make our way from there all the way up to the front.
So this represents retirement for you, huh?
for doing the shows, and to tell you the truth, it's not like I'm doing it today. I quit about 6 years ago. We had a blast at first. That was the part I loved about it.
Yeah.
And eventually that got to be draining because I would do a continuous non-stop question and answer type show.
What's the #1 question people ask?
How old is he? How do you know how old he is? What's he eat? The average rate of gain is a pound per year, and all ages are guesswork based on their weight. No one really knows.
We have moved this thing all the way from over there, and the last 5 feet is when we can't fit it through. So typical. That took 1 hour and 30 minutes to move it from the truck over here.
Just to get in.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Woo. Ready? Oh boy. Ta-da! So nice. I love the fact that everybody that walks in, that front door right there is gonna look right back here and see Woody. So I'm gonna show you where Woody currently lives right now. This is Greg's Turtletopia. So this entire area was created for my turtles by the guys in the winter.
Isn't he nice?
Isn't that beautiful?
He's a beauty.
So he's 85 pounds.
Wow.
He's been at John Richards. He was in captivity in 2003 when John saved him from the turtle soup business.
Right. He used to poke around in the slaughterhouses buying them. Mm-hmm. That's an awesome turtle, man. He's going to look good in there.
Oh, look at this. And we have Joe and George. Oh, look at this, you come bearing goodies. Now, I know your mom made these, right?
Yeah.
Look at this hair.
I know.
I mean, Ed, are you jealous?
I had that look back in the early 80s.
What's up, Josh?
How you doing?
You answered the call and brought me a turtle that I have never owned. Do you have any idea what kind of turtle that would be, Ed?
Is it a fly river?
You guessed it! You got me a Fly River turtle.
Meet Titan. This is a
That's
Fly
right, he is
River
Titan.
turtle.
I've never touched Titan. Hi, Titan. That is literally the cutest turtle I've ever seen in my entire life. He's definitely cuter than Woody.
But he will love his life. I told everyone on the video this morning, he doesn't know where he's going, but he's in for a treat.
Yep.
Ed and I went 4 years ago to where these guys are native in West Papua New Guinea, and now we're seeing him in here with all these Asian turtles. Look at that. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Right on the bottom.
Titan.
All right, so this is our brand new 700-gallon tank. We want him to be front and center with everybody. As everybody comes in, it's an open stage. We want to create something that's a little bit more unique. We have a bunch of really cool driftwood here. So what I'd like to do is almost kind of create like a log jam type of a thing where he could get himself under it. Andrew and I yesterday got some measurements off of him. His shell is 18 inches wide and he is 3 feet long and stands about 1 foot tall. So we have to make a pretty big log jam in order for him to fit inside of that thing. So talking with Greg from Greg's Turtle Haven, we were there a couple weeks ago, actually.
Awesome build, by the way.
Literally right after we left your place, we went there. He has stuff for his alligator snappers, like a pea gravel sand mixture. So I want to try to replicate that. I think it would be really good for that animal. We also, by incorporating some of that driftwood and stuff in here, it'll get a little bit of that tannin type of a look to it, which I think, again, that's really good for that particular species. So the idea is to kind of create that log jam, get the sand mixture down here in the bottom, maybe do a little bit of a rock outcropping in here. We also have different pothos and different types of vegetation that maybe we can tuck in there just to soften things up a little bit. So I want to try to get rid of just a display tank and make it more of a habitat. Trevor and I just grabbed a bunch of driftwood. He's got a bunch of the pieces over here. So our idea is to kind of create a log jam type of an effect. We want to hide the standpipe over here. So we want to make like a little cave or a shelter over here for Woody to kind of get himself under. He's going to be a lot more comfortable. They find themselves in deep pockets and holes. So we want to try to hide that up, create a little bit of a structure, as well as a little visual interest. So right now, this is a beautiful display tank if you're trying to showcase specific animals, but it's not really a habitat. What we want to try to do is mimic the natural habitat for this particular animal. Alligator snapping turtle is really, really unique animal, you know, prehistoric actually. So we really want to showcase him in that natural type of a habitat. He's going to be more comfortable, they're less prone to disease, and it just showcases the animal as he's meant to be. Maybe come in with some logs, maybe come in with some rocks, something just to kind of change the elevation so it doesn't look like just a big flat open bottom. This will be visible on all sides. So we do have to think about it from this side as well, because this is actually where a lot of our customers will actually be enjoying themselves. We have this little sunken seating area. We have a pergola meant to mimic an outdoor space. We have all of our beautiful Aquascape ecosystem ponds surrounding everything. So this would be a great place for people just to sit and relax and view that incredible animal. We've located where we want our feet to be. So that's going to hold everything up, and we're putting screws in from the bottom because this driftwood is going to float. So what we want to do is have an anchoring base that's going to hold down the entire structure. We'll carefully position it down in the bottom, and then we'll get our big piece going over the top. So he's got to trim some of those little pieces to lay that in to barricade that overflow pipe. Drilling some holes in the current overflow so we can lower the water level down. So right now, water level is going to be here. I'd like it to be a little bit lower. The reason is we just put in all this cool driftwood. I'd like to get some vegetation and that type of stuff in the back. And so this is artificial moss. Now that will naturally grow algae and that type of stuff over it. I am grabbing some pothos just to kind of soften everything up. We have all those logs and it's very hard right now. We're starting to get in some of those little moss touches. Now we want to get in some actual live vegetation. Putting in a light as well. So we have one of our little waterfall lights. We're going to put that in the very top of that cave. So it's just going to kind of illuminate the turtle. Sand going in the bottom. So we have a beautiful, really fine silica sand. it's going to make this thing pop out because it's a very bright reflective color to it. Trevor actually had a great idea about adding in some leaf litter. I know, Greg, you just added some to the Mata tank. We were talking about doing the same thing here because that will naturally add in some of those tannic acids, but it also recreates the natural environment. These animals are found in those deep holes in the rivers and things, and that's where all that debris just kind of accumulates. So all that leaf debris and stuff during the fall is going to swirl around and get deposited in those deep pockets and holes. That's where they're going to be comfortable. That's where they're going to go hunting and looking for food. Down to the final little details here. We are just cleaning everything up. Then we're getting everything ready to wash it all down. Pulled all of our tools and everything out of here. A little bit more cleanup to do over on that side. But other than that, we are ready to fill everything up with water. So Andrew and I are working on the plumbing now. The original setup that we purchased has some of this flexible piping. This is really, really handy when you're moving the system around a lot. But in this application, we are going to be setting this up for good. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in with traditional plumbing and piping. We're going to hard plumb all this stuff, put in a new suction line coming over. We're also going to change out the pump since we're doing everything new. We're going to put in one of our new Aquascape 2000s, which will be more than enough for this tank. And actually at the level that we have it filled at, we're probably closer to 500 gallons of water. So this is a submersible pump, but it's kind of a dual setup, right?
Yeah, so this is a submersible pump. It can be gravity fed for an external usage. We're going to hardline plumb it using an adapter. This is going to be the suction area. And then this is going to be the outflow up here. That way we can convert it and connect it to the rigid PVC. Gravity fed, and we have a good 1.5 foot of water, so we're fine with that. It'll give us the pressure we need to run the system.
This is going to be full of water. It's going to overflow. It's going to go down through the pipe system. It's going to go all the way over, trickle into here. That's where we have our bio balls, and then we also have layers of filter media inside of there. The water goes down through everything, through that little plumbing connection down here on the bottom. So we have a shut-off valve in case we ever need to isolate that. We also have a couple quick disconnect unions here, so we're able to pull those out if we need to. The discharge comes all the way up. We are doing a facade going around some of this to disguise it, so this pipe will eventually be hidden. I also don't want to see this. So what we did was we're discharging it down here on top of that log that we installed the other day, and we put a T in place. So the water's going to shoot out the front. It's also going to trickle out this way and go through this pipe and kind of get circulation over into this corner.
Woody's been living in here. It's great water, but I want more tannin water for Woody because it's more natural, and this 700-gallon tank was where 125-pound snapper turtle was living
125-pound snapper, yep.
for many years. Say this guy's only 85 pounds.
Watch your hands, Greg.
This thing is so powerful.
So crazy powerful. I think he's more than 85 pounds now.
Yeah,
he's grown. He has grown.
I've had him for 2 years. Okay, his new home.
Yes. Oh, jeez, look at him. Just digging and rooting around already. He's gonna search that thing around. He's gonna stir everything up.
Look at him, he just looks like a prehistoric
And the setting
dinosaur.
though, the setting is perfect. You know, it's got that tannic acids in the water. We got that mixture of roots and logs. We created a really cool cave for him. Because again, these animals are relatively sedentary. They're gonna go down into those deep pockets and deep holes. This is where in river systems where food is gonna be deposited. This is where there's gonna be lots of organic matter. That's where he's comfortable. Look at him just kind of checking everything out in his new environment. So he looks actually really, really comfortable
really
in here.
does.
I think he's gonna be much, much happier in here because this truly replicates his natural habitat. That's what I love about it. Oh, look at this. Look at that, the first time he's going in there. So Andrew and I actually took measurements of Woody, and we made sure that we had a cave big enough where he could actually tuck himself in.
Look at how cool it
Look at
looks.
that. That is incredible.
And you're going to catch some bluegill out of the front pond and maybe a couple bass and put them in there with them.
Yeah, and I'd also like to get maybe some other bottom feeder, like some suckers or something like that, because again, this is a deep water species. So he's going to live in those deep pockets, and in those deep pockets, you're going to have more bottom feeding type animals. So maybe some catfish, some suckers, something like that, actually replicate that normal habitat. The bluegills and stuff, they're going to be up here in the top layer, schooling around up here on the surface, also helping with the overall biology of an ecosystem.
Look at how that light that you guys, that LED light that you put in right in there. Perfect. This to me is what it's all about, you know, being able to have an ambassador animal like Woody. All of the kids are going to come walking up here. We're going to build a nice frame of moss around this, right, a wood frame.
Yeah.
And then Andrew, aren't you going to put like an educational plaque up here?
Yes, we're going to get educational placards on how snapping turtles have been taken out of their natural habitat.
Because we saved that guy from the turtle soup business. This guy would have been turtle soup in 2003 if it wasn't purchased by Loggerhead Acres and then given to us as an ambassador animal.
Everything that we're designing and building is with the animals in mind first and foremost. So we want to recreate some really cool habitats. This particular one was a unique challenge, indoor environment, 700-gallon tank for a massive alligator snapping turtle. Once we dialed everything in, it looks incredible. We still have a little bit of additional work to do, just decorating up on the outside edges of it, but that's all cosmetic type stuff. He's in there, he's happy, everything is looking awesome. Thanks for watching. See you on the next project.
Hey, Joe?
Yeah? Oh, I love my job.